Hey, I'm Cassi Niemann. I'm a You Can Row to Master Rowing Instructor, and I'm going to give you a few tips here on how the monitor works and what information it's giving you. So if you're rowing on a Concept 2 rowing machine, it's going to have a PM, that's the performance monitor. No matter what number you are working on, it's all going to give you very similar information. The rowing machine is a machine that measures work, and it is telling you that measurement of work at every single second that you're rowing, which means that when you're rowing, it's very mental. It is going to tell you at every second how you're doing. So if you can understand those numbers, you can use that data to make your rowing better. You understand how they work, the better rower you can be. So the two big numbers that we're going to talk about today are the split and the stroke rate. The split is going to be the biggest number on the screen, and it's going to have the slash 500 meters. That is a measurement of time. It is how much time it will take you at the current pace in which you're rowing to row over a distance of 500 meters. It allows you to know how much pressure you're applying. The lower that number is, the lower the time is, that means the more pressure you're applying because you would move through a distance faster. The slower the time, then it would take you longer to row that long. So if you are rowing and you want to apply more pressure, you want that split, that big number in the middle, to go down. When you are looking at your monitor, you can hit just row and you can change the display, but what you want to see is you're going to hit the units until it says slash 500 meters. That's what's going to show you the split. There are ways, if you hit units, to look at calories and watts. Oftentimes you can use those in different kinds of workouts, but it works the same way. Calories, the bigger the number, the more work you're doing because the more calories you're burning. Not you specifically, but the general person inside the machine that it's based off of. Same thing with watts. The higher the number, the more watts you're producing. Those are all forms of energy, and that's what this is calculating. So the split is going to determine how much work you're doing. When you are doing a piece and you are rowing on every stroke, it's going to tell you exactly what that stroke pace is. So you're going to get a real-time number based on that stroke that you're doing at that moment. But underneath it, you're also going to get the average for whatever length of piece you're doing. So it's taking the average of every stroke and giving you that number. The average is really the thing that we want to focus on in the end. And if you know that when you row 1,000 meters, you hold the average at a 2 flat, and you want to do better than that, then when you're rowing the next time, you try and hold it at a 159. And if you see it at a 159 on every stroke, then you're going to do better overall in time. The second number is the stroke rate. In this display, it's going to be in the top right-hand corner. That number is going to tell you how many strokes per minute that you're doing at that time in that stroke. Again, if you change the display, it's going to be in the top right-hand corner until this display when it's going to be in the bottom left-hand corner. Now that is also measuring speed, but it's not a speed in how fast we move through a distance. It's simply the speed in which we are moving back and forth on the rowing machine. And that's more of a cadence or a pace. And that number does not directly correlate to how much power you're producing. You can be moving back and forth really fast and not be doing anything at all. You can also be moving back and forth very slowly and producing a lot of power. Your ability to manipulate the stroke rate and the split at the same time is going to make you the best rower. So in this display, it's in the top right-hand corner, and if you change the display to just be those 4 numbers, it's going to be in the bottom left-hand corner. A stroke rate of 16, 18, 20, that's pretty low, but it's going to give you plenty of time to get your technique right and recover on the way back up to the catch to drive with the most amount of pressure. A stroke rate of 28, 30, anything over a 30 is high, and if your technique is starting to falter, then it's kind of like you're spinning your wheels. You're much better off trying to row slower and get the technique correctly before you apply the speed. Oftentimes when people are learning to row, you want to row very slow in order to row faster. It's a hard concept to wrap your head around, but if you just slow down, you'll probably get it right. So if you pay attention to those two numbers, the next time you sit down on the machine, you're going to get more out of it, and then you're going to be able to apply it better the next time you sit down. So take the time to zero out your monitor before you row and look at those numbers at the end of each piece and write them down, and then you'll be in a better position the next time you do it again.